saying nothing gets me more excited for Sonic Mania than watching some SGDQ Sonic Block. Can't wait to see it run at GDQ next year. We have a $1,000 donation from Zach. Just says, shout out to my bae. You know who you are. Keep up the great work. We have a $150.01 donation from Trid saying, for my brother in mission with Doctors Without Borders right now. Congrats for your will to help people. All right, everybody, join me in welcoming Frokenok and Sonic Generations. Woo!
The Greek god himself.
Hey guys, Frokenok 3 here. Let's do a roll call for the people in the couch over here.
Critical sit.
My Dax.
Gedrith.
There you go. And this is Sonic Generations. So we begin this? Should I count down? 3, 2, 1, go.
Woo!
All right, Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1 right away. Sonic Generations came out for Sonic's 20th anniversary. It involves 9 stages from Sonic's history, 3 stages for its pretty much era, Genesis, Dreamcast, and modern era. So Act 1 is 2D classic Sonic. Act 2 is modern Sonic, which involves 3D and 2D. A few things to say about this game is that I'm playing on the PC version, which is 60 FPS and has the better loading times. It saves around 9 minutes to the Xbox 360 version, and it saves around 80 minutes to the poor PS3 version. So, yeah.
Yeah, for PS3.
Classic Green Hill, 44, pretty good.
Classic stages tend to be pretty simple until we get to the later ones, really.
Yeah, Green Hill Zone serves as a pretty good warm-up, and right now we're going to be going to the modern stage. So you might recognize this format from games like the Day Stages of Unleashed and Sonic Colors. So we're going to be using the traditional boost mechanics that have been in those games. Drifting actually is really prominent in this game as well because you can build your boost during it. And so you'll see that in sections like this, for example, where we actually use the drift to completely obliterate that portion of the track. And then we're going to be going to a 2D section here right now. Just then, sliding from a 3D section to a 2D section can actually maintain your momentum. The speed in a 3D section versus a 2D section playing as Modern Sonic kind of works a little bit differently. You sort of have more speed, if that makes sense. And the way the engine works is that when if you can carry it through, you'll just keep it up when you're not supposed to really have it.
You also see with the boost gauge, he's actually building up by collecting rings, hitting enemies, and the trick sections off of golden ramps.
Right. There are tons of opportunities to build up boost in this game, so it's very useful. But there are some sections later on where you have to manage it quite well.
Yeah. Also, you didn't really see it there, but he actually jumped over one of the boosters that actually locks your speed there and makes you go really slow.
It's kind of a common trend in Sonic games. The boosters usually don't so much make you go fast as much as they manage your speed.
Right, a lot of them will cap your speed, but we kind of want to go over that, so that's a bit of a trend.
So he's also doing slides there to maintain some momentum off the speed boost.
Also, thanks to all of the bit donations, these stages we're going to see blindfolded after the run as well.
Yeah, thank you very much about that. You guys are awesome.
I've seen him do it before. It's bonkers. He still gets better times than me.
And that's the last run for Green Hill, and pretty good time, actually.
Very solid.
So, we're going through our past, we're gonna be saving our friends as well. We've saved Tails right there. Next up is Chemical Plant from Sonic 2. And modern Chemical Plant, it has the first pretty much skip of the game. So I'll leave that to the guys, to the couch to explain.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's gonna be a skip coming up later on the level where it's really dope. I love this trick. So we're gonna be going through this pipe essentially. And at the very end of it, it's going to happen very quickly, so I'm just going to explain it now. At the very end of it, we're going to be kind of drifting off the side of it and flying way farther than we're supposed to and kind of go out of bounds. Right there is another example of the slide going from the 3D to 2D, so we keep a little bit of momentum there. And just kind of continue on this 2D section. This is cool. Little hop there. I don't know how that works, but it does. And then, yeah, so coming up right here is going to be that pipe. So just pay attention. Right where the pipe's going to start curving upward, we're going to kind of hop into a drift and then just fly over here where we're not supposed to be. So that's really, really cool. It's not over yet, though. We're actually going into a 2D section, but we're going to be in 3D, so we have to be very, very tricky about our placement. Hit that pad right there, and then
get the homing attack. Didn't quite get the homing attack.
Yeah, a little bit early. Whoa. A little bit early for the homing attack. I do that all the time, and I hate it. If you homing attack a little early, the reticle won't appear. So you gotta delay it just a bit. It's kind of a small window, but thankfully we can just go right to before where the trick started. So you guys get to see it again.
Yeah.
So yeah, just angling right where we need to be. Perfect.
That's okay. There, so, but
there
this one he can recover from. And there we go. Very nice.
Got it.
As you saw, because he skipped so much on the stage, the game kind of has trouble loading everything in.
So you also saw back there, even on some of the little like auto scroller sections, you can actually boost them up by speed them up by using the boost.
Of course, right here again, you kind of want to manage your boost. If you overdo it a little bit, you can end up with a slower section here. Now, of course, because of the death, we ended up with less boost than we otherwise normally have. So there's a lot of cool intricacies with that, with the boost mechanic in this game that a lot of people kind of miss. So it's not so much a boost to win kind of thing, although it
it's like there's definitely more boost management than you would see, for instance, Unleashed. It's not quite on the levels of colors of boost management, but it's still like very important.
Also, you'll see me like try to avoid those red rings, pretty much. They waste like half a second every time I go to the world menu. Sometimes I can't avoid them, so I have to actually, grab them as I go through the stages. Classic Graphical Plan doesn't really have anything to it, unless you're going for IL strats, which individual levels. And you go for M speed and D speed stuffs, but it's not really worth it. So, like, if you want to read 1-2 donations, that's fine by me.
Sure thing. We got a $25 donation from Cool Blue saying, first time donating to GDQ, and now I sort of have money. Loved seeing the Sonic CD run, and I definitely can't wait to see Generations and Colors torn in half by the runners. Good luck and save the Wisps. We also have a $15 donation from Black Fox. I love GDQ. Been watching for years and never had the ability to donate until now. I always enjoy the Sonic block, and it brings so many great memories. Gotta go fast.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Chemical Plan. Next up, Sonic and Knuckles, like Sky Sanctuary, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. We'll start with a classic. It's one of those, also Sonic. Classic is one of those stages, like it has a lot of routes and it can get tricky. Also, can happen. Nothing to worry about that.
This is actually, when I was messing around with the game, looking at it as a speed run, this is the level that I hated the most as Classic Sonic.
It's one of the harder ones, yeah. Again, there's a lot of intricacies with the pathing in this game. There's some really cool stuff, but it takes a lot of time to really get used to it, especially with like enemy placement and a few other things. Classic Sonic's physics it's sort of like kind of a crazy amplified version of a lot of just traditional Classic Sonic stuff. So we can abuse spin dash and spin dash jumping heavily. We can like wrap around a bunch of areas because obviously it's going to be even though it's going through all these 3D sections, it's still applied to that plane. Right there, you have to kind of hold back a little bit just to make sure that you grab that.
That is so hard.
It's actually really annoying. It's easy to miss. It's not super critical, but you kind of fall into a spot you don't want to be in. It's a little bit of a pain. And that's kind of a general theme of Classic Sonic a lot of time because you're sort of committing to these very long, distant jumps. You're going very, very quickly. And the moment you start to jump, and people do it a little bit differently, but sometimes you have to hold forward a little bit and then hold back, like tap back for a second or hold back for a couple seconds. And you'd have to find all these different timings to get used to it because you can't exactly see where you're going a lot of the time because you're going so quickly.
So Modern Sky Sanctuary, probably the only stage in the game that you have to manage your boost. Like any other stage, you should have boost to go. Like this one, when you speedrun, like you need to be careful when not to go out of boost.
Yeah, every time you press the boost button, it's going to take off a chunk. You can actually see where the red goes into the bar, and it starts to deplete from there. But if you're holding boost, it will take that chunk and then it'll naturally deplete. So if you're just like mashing boost, you're not going to have a good time. You're just going to run out really quickly. But there are situations that if we're in the air, we want to get across a gap, so you want to use the boost right here, for example. So we're going to boost across this. But thankfully, we can hit that trick ramp and we can build up some more. we're almost out, but we're going to hit the rail, so we can maintain that momentum. So you're just getting to these little sections and trying to make sure you hold out just long enough. Ooh, that was a little odd.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that.
The pixels were not in your favor.
Yeah.
Does that happen to you very often?
I started out to HDL and subpixels.
Sounds Kirby Master complained about subpixels all the time.
Yeah, so most of this level, like we said, you're going with very little boost, but generally, if you can just kind of just keep the right placement and hit the correct enemies, get the correct shirks, then you should be all right.
Yep.
This part's really cool. We're just going to skip over to this one over here.
And then coming up, we have another big break, another like 3D in 2D. And this one is actually very easy to activate. You just kind of do a hop there, jump over the trigger. And he now has 3D physics in the 2D section, allowing him to just, jump.
Just go around
jump
it.
past the wall. That is a kind of trick that you see a lot in the Boost trilogy, which is Sonic Unleashed Colors and Generations, of course, where you just want to get many instances of getting your 3D physics into a 2D section, because A, you move faster, and B, you can just jump around everything.
Yeah, right. Sonic in 3D is much, much faster. All right, so we finished with the Genesera main stages. We need to do, though, 3 missions, one for each stage, to unlock 3 keys so we can unlock the main boss of the era. You need to do 1 classic and 1 modern. We begin with Sky Sanctuary, since we're already there, and we're going to do the modern one.
There's a lot of cool movement here, actually, because the whole map, it's designed this really interesting way. So as far as not only doing the missions, but which order you do them in and how you actually move around the map is pretty cool. So there's some optimization there.
To start off with, he is going to launch himself off of that balloon there, which kind of launches him throughout the first 2D section with his 3D physics intact, making it a lot faster. And if you recognize this section, yeah, the exact same thing is going to happen, another 3D and 2D.
Yeah, the hop right there just goes right over the trigger, and we can just, do the level however we want.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So we're going to head back over to Green Hill and do the mission over here. Let's switch over. Yeah, so a lot of these missions will kind of reuse certain assets, and they'll just rearrange the level, and some of them have different objectives and things like that. Some of the classic ones are pretty straightforward, like this one here. It's mostly a time attack kind of thing.
Nice, I got it.
Nice.
Right.
So with a lot of these missions, of course, he's going to just pick the fastest missions and whatnot. Got to do 1 for each area. But there are some exceptions to that coming up later, where he wants to have specific ability.
Yep.
That gets unlocked through these missions. But yeah, there's this key.
So we're doing the 3rd mission here.
Yeah.
The whole idea behind this one is that you're constantly getting invincibility boxes, because most of the floor is spikes. That's really the gist of that level.
Yeah, also this mission involves a lot of cycles that you need to be a bit fast to get.
Right, there's a couple blocks with spikes on the end that are sort of coming together, and you want to try to get there before they block your path, so you can save a few extra seconds.
Also, with picking the missions, it kind of depends on the runner which one they choose to do. Some of them are really close together. For instance, this one. Some of them opt to do the bubble challenge with the bubble shield.
I
Right,
believe
so just barely got it.
But at this point, there's
Very nice.
I didn't have the invincibility there.
yeah. But at this point, the game is actually getting optimized to the point where you do actually those extra seconds.
Also,
Right.
you might recognize this guy.
Yeah, we just saw him.
So in every grouping of stages, we also have an additional boss fight for a Chaos Emerald from one of those classic characters. So we have Metal Sonic now. So Frog's going to go for some pretty quick hits, like right there. So as soon as Metal Sonic is on the same plane as Sonic, you can actually hit him immediately.
All right,
Nice,
I got
the
it.
hit.
Nice.
Just tries to finish it off.
Yeah, each phase of this fight, you have to do kind of a particular set of movement. In this case, it's
Yeah,
going to get hit there to end
there
that
you go.
attack early.
Nice.
Very smooth fight.
Yeah, 30 is pretty good. Like, this fight can go really wrong if you don't get the early hits. You can go up to 1 minute. Like, you can lose a lot of time.
Yeah, these phases take a long time to get through, so that went really well.
And there is our Chaos Emerald, which we're gonna need for later on.
So now, at the end of every era, we have an actual boss fight of Eggman, one of Eggman's boss fights from the era.
People should recognize the music, I think.
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah, like it's totally different. Like he used to be final boss, now he's like whatever the boss, I guess. Like
He's fallen from grace, man.
For this first little section, you kind of have to rely on a bit of luck after the first hit, which Zaki's going to do.
So the first two hits are really straightforward. Just getting up to the foot. Just going to jump over here, hit him on the butt again. And up here, the intended way is that you get a hit in and Eggman kind of like knocks you up to the platform. You do this whole missile thing. But if you get squashed right there, immediately jump, you can actually cancel out of it instead of being knocked over to these other platforms to get a hit in. And thankfully, because it's a Sonic game, we can grab the rings and the fight's over.
all right,
Very nice. Got good luck as well.
yeah. I got like the second best or third best, I think. There are 4 patterns. The first one is like if he gets his foot up immediately, pretty much. And with that, we're moving on to the Dreamcast era and Speed Highway. Yeah.
Woo indeed.
Speed Highway, people hate it. like, in this game, like it's probably the most broken stage for modern at least.
Yeah, Classic is pretty straightforward. Classic, in my opinion, is actually one of my favorites to do. Classic.
Dude, this remix is awesome.
And it's a great remix.
Also, it's a speed highway with actual cars on it as well.
It's a really cool trick right here. So if you position yourself just right, across for those bars, yeah. There's an interesting sort of set of bounces that you get, and it just positions you just where you need to go. It's quite faster than trying to do it in a different way. It's a little bizarre. Over here, just kind of wait for a couple of these platforms. Like I said earlier, just avoiding the red rings. Don't want to take that extra second. Of course, in these stages, we start seeing the influences from the later Sonic games come into play. It's a little strange and classic, but I personally adore it. And you spend that just a little bit longer on that part just to wait for that platform cycle.
Definitely a lot of cycles to take into account at this stage.
They really are.
Yeah, the worst one are in Cityscape. And so that was classic. Going into modern, well, I hope modern is good. Like,
Yeah, so that little drift trick he did in Chemical Plants to launch himself at the end of the pipe, he's going to do a similar one in Modern Speed Highway, except on the side of a building. And yeah, it can sometimes take a while.
like it's borderline lag, you could say. The thing is that if I don't get it, I don't know how to go through the stage. I haven't done it like in forever.
Just get the trick first try, you'll be fine.
Oh, all right.
I believe in you, Frog.
The Skyway will be merciful.
Yeah, the idea behind it is essentially we're going to try to essentially fly over most of the level. If you've ever seen like a Final Rush kind of level in SA2, you sort of get the idea. And it's just a really, really particularly tricky setup.
Also, you can just skip a big chunk of the stage right there by just not hitting the trick panel.
Oh yeah, you can just fall down. So yeah, right here, he's going to be falling all the way down this ramp, boosting back up, and sort of letting him hover in a way. You'll see in a second. He's going to let himself hover right up here, turn himself around, and boost at the building. See if we can pull it off.
Come on. All right.
Got it.
Right. There's some kill planes he has to dodge there
Yeah.
first. Like he has to definitely get high enough. And now it's just a matter of using the backdrop to guide his way around. And he should end like very close to the goal.
A lot of people think starting out, like once you actually start drifting up the building, you're good. But no, there's a number of kill planes that you do have to avoid. But that worked out really well.
Rainbow Ring for the swag. Let's go.
Very nice.
And I think this is the first ever time Sonic Generations has the Speed Highway skip in a marathon.
Good stuff, man.
Whew. All right. All right. You know what's coming up.
Everybody knows this stage.
All right, get ready.
I don't really have anything to say over here. Like, if someone, can read some donations as well. Like,
Yeah, the only thing here to notice, like, instead of City Escape, SATB, where you don't want to hit the cars, here they give boosts, so hit all the cars.
yeah.
Well, we do have a $15 donation from DGF saying, Frokenok, you go show everyone why Sonic Generations is a fantastic game to speedrun, and good luck to you at SGDQ. As a fellow speedrunner of the game, I'll definitely be cheering you on.
Shout out to DGF, individual level runner of this game.
So yeah, layout of this level is a little weird when it comes to the terrain. There's some finicky parts, but overall it's a very straightforward level. There's really not a whole lot to it. There's something pretty cool right here, though. So we're gonna go in the 2D section here. This whole section is just really cool to me. I'm doing it optimally. And those when he's jumping on the bars and let him spin around, they kind of give you this little blue window, but you can really, you give it like half a second, press the button, it's pretty consistent. You don't really have to worry about trying to time it all that well. And he jumps over the ramp there, and you can just start drifting instead.
Way
So
faster.
anyways, you want to play some rock, paper, scissors while we wait?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're doing that? Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, Dax, you got this.
I guess we just won't play.
Yeah. So yeah, truck got a bit of an upgrade, but it's still not really all that important, really. It's like you can add all the weapons you want, as long as you're not fast enough. It's not gonna matter.
Even though they give him like rocket boosters and stuff like that.
We're Sonic, we don't care.
Everything is fine.
All right.
Truck and Classic goes in though. Whew.
Yeah. All right, Classic City Escape involves quite a few cycles. Like, the faster I go, the better, pretty much. But there are situations where, like, because of the platforming, you might get stuck a little bit.
Also, this introduced the best item in this game, the skateboard.
Gonna see a little bit of that. All right, that was a really good first section.
Yeah,
Big.
there are a number of jumps like this where you like we just saw earlier, where you kind of commit to it and you got to rely on a sequence of bounces. In some cases, you can just let Sonic go. You don't even have to touch the analog stick at all, and he just gets free bounces and is able to go to the appropriate spot. But other times you do have to, just like some of the other jumps in Classic, you kind of have to manipulate how far you hold back or forward and to what degree, and everything kind of has its own bits.
Skateboard.
Here's a skateboard, but unfortunately, we're gonna lose it really quick because it's faster.
Aw.
But skateboards are radical.
Just like 2B.
Heck yeah. If Shadow saw the art I made for that, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
All right.
So, unlike City Escape Modern, the truck actually kind of plays a bigger effect in this stage by destroying some stuff, but Frock goes through it pretty quickly.
111, pretty good.
Very good.
Yeah, that truck is relentless, man.
Yeah, if you're too slow back there, the truck will constantly come in and out of the scaffolding and keep knocking it down. So it's better to just get out and get through it as quickly as possible.
For reference, there is a D speed in this stage, but it's actually slower right now.
This is a technique that we'll touch on a little bit when we get to the shadow fight called M speed and D speed. It's really cool, but something we can't really abuse very much in this game compared to the console version. Now we're going to Seaside Hill.
It doesn't matter if you get those speed suits or not. Like, you just need to make the cycle pretty much. The speed suits, they don't really help you, but they can make the life easier for you, I guess.
So this is kind of the first time we've actually even gotten around the water physics in this game. But back in Chemical Plant, they also had some water in there, but we avoided it pretty much completely. So Water, as per all Sonic games, slows you down to, I think it's half speed, but increases your jump height a little bit. And of course you have your oxygen, which will hopefully not be cutting it too close.
And just then, Frog timed his jump perfectly to where he was able to hit that platform and bounce up. If he had fallen down, he would have gone to another turret and would have been a different pathway. So these levels kind of take their inspiration from Heroes, where there's a large multitude of different pathways and that sort of thing. Try to go for the optimal one as much as we can.
Also, you need to be careful really here with those spike balls. Like, if you hit them, it's death, like instantly, even though you get rings.
So right here, there's this big wheel that's supposed to chase us, but we're actually going to be doing the chasing.
Didn't get the jump.
That's
fine.
So you can kind of see that the unique thing in this level is instead of having multiple levels for everything in the classic one, they actually did different layers, which was kind of a more Heroes-esque inspired approach.
Right.
Yeah. Just the amount of paths also plays a big factor in the modern Seaside Hill. There's so many branching paths.
Oh, modern Seaside Hill is really, really cool.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see a good example of some tricky Buddhist management in just a bit here. Also, keep in mind Sonic can run on water. We're going to be using that quite a bit.
Yeah.
So they did try to add something to prevent you from doing that with a giant fish that decides to come and attack you. But if you move fast enough, you won't really care.
Yeah, fish doesn't really start playing a factor until you get out of bounds, what the game considers out of bounds, which will come up in a mission later.
Yeah, we have some ways to get around that.
It's unfortunate that we don't have the endless boost ability right here.
Yeah, that's why it would just be running on water all the time.
Yeah, there are abilities in this game that you can actually add to Sonic to change different characteristics, such as endless boost or all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of a pain to go back to the shop and equip it and everything. But we do something for Classic Sonic later on that you'll see in a bit. So right here, ideally, we want to have kind of maxed out boost, so we do. We're going to curve around this section. There's 3 paths that we're supposed to be taking, but we're just not going to take any of them. We're going to jump off here. So we're going to boost, hold it for a little bit, boost, hold it for a little bit. Just have a sliver and just enough. There you go. Very good. And that skips quite a bit, so it's a really, really important trick. Right here, they put this turn here that you can't drift on, so you have to stop if you want to make that.
Yeah, the reason behind it is that because you skip the 3 paths. That's why it locks your movement for some reason.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Totally forgot that. I don't know anything about video games.
Literally never played a video game in my life.
We got some cool 2D platforming going through here.
So if you like wheels, we got a lot of them.
Yeah.
There are a lot of wheels.
Also, we take the trick ramp there, because if you take the normal ones, you actually waste a few seconds getting hit by a whale to make the actual jump.
Yeah. All right, and that was Seaside Hill and the Dreamcast era main stages. So we're going on to the missions, which they're pretty interesting. Yeah, SPO.
He's not very impressed at all.
Thinking face.
So we're going to be heading to our first mission here. So this is where the actual fish is going to be coming into play. There's a cool trick where, as we're boosting along the water, once this big fish goes actually up to eat us, even though we're technically out of bounds in the water at that point when we're not inside the buoys, if we pull back a little bit, we'll see. Yeah, fish keeps going back down. So we kind of trick it into, I guess, thinking. Is it because the game thinks that we're dying? Is that right?
Yeah, like you sink a little bit into the water by holding back, and the game thinks like, oh, well, he's gonna die anyway. Fish is lazy, doesn't bother killing you.
Right. So we can abuse that and just get through the level way quicker.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
And if you have the endless boost, you can abuse that like all the time.
You just go around. You
Seaside
just
Hill.
go around. Yeah.
All right,
Doesn't
so
matter.
this mission, the Thunder Shield mission, is not the fastest mission for City Escape, but the Thunder Shield is super useful in the modern era.
Right.
yeah.
You might remember from a lot of the classic Sonic games, the shields, in this case the Thunder Shield, gives you a double jump. It's super, super, super critical to the run, so we're going to be doing this mission to go ahead and pick that up, and then we'll go back later on and equip it right before we get to the next set of stages. The thing about it, though, and once we get to the main stages, is that if you do lose your Thunder Shield, you pretty much have to take a death. You're able to activate the shield at any point by pressing either triangle or Y, something like that.
All right. So here comes the difficult part. There's been like a route change recently. Usually we do the speed highway mission overdrift, but this has been here before, but I wasn't doing it because like if you miss it, it wastes a lot of time. But now I needed to actually kind of get the record back, so I'm gonna do it.
Gotta go all in.
Yeah, and it all depends on timing a drift perfectly so that he can run back up the building. And
Yeah, I was going a little faster, I think there. If you don't get it first try, then it becomes a little bit all over the place, hopefully.
so yeah, it's gonna give it a few tries. And,
Yeah.
can't get it, it's gonna do it normally.
There we go.
Very
go.
nice.
And
And
hello, stage.
bye stage. Very nice.
That's it.
All right, you know what time it is. It's
It
faker
is.
time.
Time for our boy Shadow. And this is where the terms that we've been throwing out, M speed and D speeds, come more into play. It is a trick that is available in Unleashed and Generations, where if you hold your control stick at a very slight tilt, and then you get into the air after you've built up some speed, you can kind of go past the speed cap. And it's just absolutely nuts how fast you can go.
Right.
Now, in Unleashed, this was reasonable enough to like do consistently. In the console version of Generation, it was harder, but still reasonable enough. The fact that he's going for it on PC is nuts, honestly, because on PC is even more precise.
Right, and it's not like it's exclusive to this fight. It is just really, it's easier to set it up in this fight compared to other sections, and it just really speeds it up. And
There
here you
we
go.
go.
So you can
Yeah.
see that he's constantly accelerating, and he's able to immediately.
And I
it was-
missed it again. I'll go normally. It's just like gonna.
It's pretty tricky. That's the thing, though. It's that you have to hold the analog stick at that perfect spot, and it's very, very tricky. Funny enough, the console version on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, it's much easier. So if you actually watch the best IL times, both for classic and modern Sonic, so if you watch individual level times, you'll see them using that technique a lot, very much like you might see in a Sonic Unleashed time. But on PC, it's just a lot harder. So this is really the only place that we use it. Yeah, we got both orbs, and
We got a little bit of a sneak peek of the speed you can get from M speed.
It's unfortunate that I didn't get them speed. I really want to show it off because we didn't show it before. But yeah, it's pretty difficult, and it can give me a pretty big trouble getting it.
It's also a bit weird for Frog because he plays everything else with the D-pad, even modern Sonic.
Yeah, like I'm using the D-pad to actually, do my thing. So
So this is the only place where he actually uses the analog stick.
yeah.
I still don't know how he does it, man, playing this game with the
it's
D-pad.
weird.
He's crazy, that's how.
Yeah. Some Greek mystery or something.
Anyway, that was Shadow. And we're moving on to the modern era.
of course we have one more boss fight to do
Actually,
before we
yeah.
get there.
Skipping ahead.
Just skip him.
Yeah, like, can we actually find a skip? Like,
So if anyone played Sonic Adventure 1, you might remember this guy, Chaos, or Perfect Chaos in this case. Except way more interesting in this game is that he actually built kind of a level around him, which is really cool.
oh, nice.
So
That was
that's
Amazing star.
yeah.
It's not part of it.
That's something. Right?
That's it.
So much of this is pretty straightforward, just going to be kind of racing the level, getting to where Perfect Chaos is, and of course, unlike Sonic Adventure 1, we don't need Supersonic anymore where we got Boost, which is pretty OP. We're just able to race up to his head. Pausing there, what exactly was it again?
It causes you to go into the next phase a little bit faster.
Right.
It's only like a very tiny bit of
Yeah.
time save, but hey, it's just pausing. Why not? It's worth it.
Real quick, got a special donation, a special announcement. Summer Games Done Quick 2017 has now raised $200,000.
Nice.
Good stuff.
So this is going to be the third hit. The next section here changes up a little bit. Chaos is going to start summoning up a bunch of pieces of building, and we got to kind of just navigate it a little bit. Going to be doing some cool boost jumps to get around, but some of it's a little bit weird with the way some of the buildings kind of despawn almost, and
Yeah.
the way it's a little it's a little weird places.
It's a little funky because he tends to like skip some of the platforms that the game
Right.
kind of intends
It's like
it to
that
go
one
on
just
like that.
disappeared
Yeah.
for some reason. Not really sure why. Just gonna wait for the spring
matter.
here. Keep bouncing on it for a minute, and that's
There
it.
you go.
That's
All
the
right.
one. Probably my favorite boss in Generations, mostly because it's pretty much a stage.
Yeah.
Exactly. They did a lot more with it.
Yeah.
It's definitely better than the next main boss.
Whew.
Oh, let's
Let's-
keep that in its little bag until then.
We'll get
Let's
to him.
not give him light on day until we have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, from here we're going to be going to the modern era, starting off with Crisis City.
And Crisis City Modern is just a really cool stage to watch. It doesn't have like anything like any big skips in it or something. But
There's a lot of really intricate movement, and
Exactly.
especially in sections where there's going to be a lot of fire pillars and other things where you're having to do sequences with quick boosting in the air into stomps and sort of navigating your way through.
Also, a funny little thing to note. This stage is probably triggering the three of us in different ways because we're all actually 06 runners.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, right. I'm the only one that runs Shadow.
You don't have to deal with a max speed section. Just saying.
Yeah, I just have to deal with vehicles, Sid.
Can we not have this conversation?
Yeah,
All right.
Okay, fair enough.
I want to play the good game. All right. So again, some cool movement right here. So again, like what we just saw there. So you're going to see stuff like that quite a bit, like kind of boosting in the air, stopping at certain points. But again, like we said earlier, whenever you boost, it takes off a big chunk, so you have to manage it pretty well. You have to be pretty quick here because there are a couple spots where you want to kind of get past the flame pillar before it messes with you.
So those flame pillars, when you stop on, are actually, they kind of depend on the height that you originate your stop from. So if you like just do bare minimal one, you barely go down a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to need more boosts into some stomps to get around these platforms. And that's one of those really deceptively hard 2D sections. I think Crisis City Modern has some of the most difficult, in my opinion, the most difficult 2D sections like that, just between the, again, like boosting, stomping, all that movement, just trying to do it really fast without hitting any spikes. or
Hey,
fire or
Shadow
anything
Tsunami
like
is in the goal ring.
All right, so now that we finished Modern Crisis City, we're gonna go to Omochao. Yeah, Omochao. Like, he runs the shop around here, so we need that Thunder Shield.
All right, so if y'all remember earlier, we picked up the Thunder Shield from doing that particular mission. We're going to warp straight back to him and equip it.
So Thunder Shield is extremely useful for Crisis City. As you'll see coming up, you can skip quite a bit of things with it.
Oops, I went down there. There you go.
Thank you, Capitalist Omochao.
And we good.
Conveniently enough, just like the other stages, you can just hit the bumpers and just go straight from one to the other, including the Omochao section, so we don't have to run all the way back.
So as Zax mentioned earlier, you saw there was a little icon underneath the rings for hitting the Y button, he could activate a Thunder Shield. So at the beginning of every stage, or if you die and come back in, you have that option to reapply a Thunder Shield.
Right, it's very convenient, but again, at the same time, it's not something that you can just pick up. So if you do get hit, you can lose a lot of time depending on where you are because you just simply can't use it anymore unless you go back and try to pick it back.
Yeah.
So yeah, that section was a pretty good example of just how much
Right,
you can save. He just skipped an entire 2D section roundabout thingy by just using the double jump from the Thunder Shields to get straight onto the ramp.
And again, just like right there, you'll see how convenient it is throughout a lot of the classic stages from this point on. Just maintaining that momentum, especially through here. This is actually one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, if you go fast enough here, you can still see like the fake pole going in the background by the time you hit the actual pole.
Yeah. Of course, the more you practice it this way, once you actually don't have a shield, it's just, you feel so helpless in a stage like this.
Yeah.
All right.
Very good.
Sub 120 for you. All right, so coming up is Rooftop Run. And Rooftop Run Classic is like an, I don't know, it's like the classic stage is like a stage where they tell you this is not a stage to speedrun. Like, like a lot of platforming, a lot of stop and go.
There are a handful of cycles as well when it comes to the giant scythes. I don't know why the city has scythes hanging everywhere, but they do.
And this is one of those stages where he has to keep his Thunder Shield, so he cannot get hit, otherwise it would just be significantly
Right, it's
slower.
very, very difficult. Yeah, normally you kind of go with the top path. It's a matter of yeah, so right there. So it's gonna be a little trickier from this point on.
Yeah, like stuff like that can happen easily for this stage.
Yeah.
Because of how much platforming there is, this is just such a good stage for the Thunder Shield. But yeah, kind of have to make do without it, which is very possible.
I can take an intentional death in the next checkpoint and like regain it pretty much.
Yeah, there are a couple points where you can do that.
Over here. Gonna do that.
Yeah, so that's a good example. And thankfully we're on PC, so the loading time isn't an hour long. It's a few seconds. Gonna hit that switch, get up here real quick.
Rooftop Run Classic, like, it depends very much on your beginning. If you have a good beginning, like, you're gonna have, like, probably a good time going through the stage. If not, like, it gets pretty difficult.
All right, so at this point we're basically on the tower climb, and once again, Thunder Shield is very useful here. We can just skip some of these platforms, and for the most part, we go, you go the same way. You end up going through the same paths you otherwise would, with or without the shield, but it's just so much more convenient to have it.
Oh yeah.
And right here, oh, actually, no.
Didn't have to take
Nice.
That's a little bit different
Yeah,
from what I
I didn't
remember.
That was
That's a little different. Yeah, no, what I was aware of before was that you would normally get hit, and you would just kind of take that. You would lose your shield, but then you would fall into it. But I guess that's a little.
Yeah, that's what he did to me last time I commentated this for him. He was like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna not get hits, so your
Yeah.
commentary is invalid.
All right. That was classic Rooftop Run. It didn't go very well, but it is actually it's orange roofs because I'm playing this in the Japanese version. Like,
I didn't know that. That's
yeah, like,
I don't know why they wouldn't change it.
Oh.
I think it's very fitting.
but yeah, modern Rooftop Run. It's probably the easiest stage to speedrun.
Yeah.
Yeah, for how late in the game this is, it's
Yeah.
just easy.
Which, if you look at a Sonic Unleashed day stage IL
oh,
for this stage,
The exact opposite.
polar opposite. Very
It's the stage you put first because of how dumb it is.
right. But yeah, there's no real substantial big skips or anything like that you might see in that version of the stage. It's pretty straightforward.
while we're speaking of that, shout out to our boy Josh, who runs
yeah.
Unleash because he's a madman.
Yeah, we actually submitted like Generations, Colors, and Sonic Unleashed as like a boost trilogy. Unfortunately, GDQ only decided to pick 2 of them. I mean, which is very much on them. It's I respect the decision. But yeah, that unfortunately means we couldn't also get Joshua Salkel here, which is the Sonic Unleashed runner, and he is amazing at the game. So if you are in the taste for some really cool Unleashed runs after this, check it out.
He's also incredibly handsome.
Yeah.
I really like when I get that jump. It looks pretty cool.
That's probably the most intricate part of the stage, honestly, that little 2D section. Some classic, iconic little part here, kind of weaving in and out of the buildings. Yeah, from here on, it's a pretty straight shot. Going to be a couple drifts there going on this upper platform. Avoiding this giant spike thing. I'm really questioning the architecture.
Yeah, don't
But-
worry about it.
I mean, to each his own.
Exactly.
And then this is basically the final stretch.
Also, as straightforward as this is in an 80% run on PC, if you check out like the individual level runs on console for this is an absolute playground for end
Oh,
speed.
it's completely different.
It is so cool.
Right. So when we were talking about Shadow earlier, we saw a little glimpse when Frock was able to get it, of just like constantly increasing your momentum. Just think about that through that whole stretch, and yeah, it gets pretty wacky.
All right. And that was Ruthobrand. Next up is Blind Wish. Both acts have a skip in it. My personal favorite is in Classic, but we're doing first Modern.
Yeah, the one in Classic is pretty straightforward, not too difficult to do, pretty cool. The one in Modern sucks, but we'll get to that when we get to it. A lot of people casually aren't really a huge fan of the stage, but speedrunning-wise, I think it's going to be one of my personal favorites. Big problem that I think a lot of people have is that there's a lot of this 2D tower climb near the end that's sort of reflective of a couple of acts in colors. So we'll be getting that soon enough. But for now, we can enjoy the scenery here.
The main kind of complaint is that it is a very long and drawn-out stage because of it being like one of the last stages.
Right. What's cool though is that if we get the skip here, which my boy Frock, I know he can, because he's a god, Greek god.
Of course.
We'll be able to skip the vast majority of that and just go straight up to the top. And it's also going to be mostly invisible, which is really neat. So there's a cool thing coming up here where, much like Colors, there are wisps, which from that game in this case we have the rocket wisp. We're going to go ahead and grab it, start charging it, and then wait for the next one to actually go into our inventory. So if you look at the top left, you can see the rocket in the inventory right there. So we're going to be holding on to that. It's really key. We're going to use this one, but we're going to catch that one right there. So we always have one in the backup. We always have one that we're not really supposed to have. We're just going to keep going through the level as normal. And some of the 2D platforming in this section is pretty tricky, not only with falling platforms, you have to deal with all these giant buzzsaws and all sorts of stuff here. So, and of course, if you fall and die at any point during this, then you will not have your rocket and the skip will not work. And of course, if you fail the skip, obviously, if you have to go back, then you will not have your rocket. So it's a one and done kind of thing. So it's coming up right here. And
nice rocket.
It's a little later than normal. I think it should be good.
Yeah,
you're good. Got it. Yeah.
Nice.
So what happened there essentially is that when you boost, like we were saying earlier, how you kind of carry speed a little bit differently from 3D to 2D, you carry that boost, which has a higher speed cap than what would be in 2D. So you're able to go a lot farther. But if you hit that that trick ramp, you will pretty much be locked to the 2D section, and you'll immediately hit a goalpost, and you will not be able to go back. And of course, if you boost too early, or I'm sorry, if you boost too late, you will not carry the speed over, and you'll just fall, and you won't be able to. You won't be close enough to the tower. So it's very precise, and we were able to just kind of skip over that whole portion, which is just so cool.
Oh yeah. I also like the invisible platforming that goes on afterwards. So just a little bit of a insight on why he's even playing in the Japanese version. It's just like the small amount of text boxes there are. Also, that was really good. Yeah, the small amount of text boxes there are, they get sped up by the Japanese language.
Ever so slightly.
Yeah, and the voice is just because he likes it.
So now with Classic, we get the Great Wisp of Spike, which you'll see more of that in the next run as well with Sonic Colors.
Great Wisp.
So it actually works in this game somewhat.
Ish.
Unfortunately, it's what we actually use for the skip in this one.
Something really convenient though is that when you come out of a Wisp power-up, you actually regain your shield. And so if you, for example, like if you lose your shield, you use the power-up, and you come out of the power-up, you can get it back again.
Didn't really want to go down there, but I need to make do.
That's okay. Yeah, there's some things throughout the stage where you have to use a spike wisp to grab onto one of those little gears and sort of activate its lever. It's actually a cool little mechanic, but it's Spike. Getting used to how Spike works and the way you move with it is a whole other thing. It's kind of very odd. So we're just going to jump down there, go straight past this section here.
Yeah.
And there's a really cool little out of bounds. Oh no.
Well, PC Sonic Generation, guys. It can happen.
Random crash.
Yep. That's a grass.
Yeah.
Quit out and reload, I guess. Shout outs to PC ports.
Yeah.
They're all solid.
Really good.
Yeah.
I'll need to restart the game pretty much.
Well, while he's doing that, we can get through a couple donations.
Sounds good.
Go for it.
So first one, $20 from Anonymous saying, Frock, don't forget your crew now that you're famous. Also, you owe us euros. Hi, couches. We got $50 from Ethmar. Hey, Frock and people on the couch. Good luck on the rest of the run. Put the money towards runner's choice. We got a $20 donation from Shady Score. Hey, everyone. Love the Sonic speedrun so far. Shoutouts to Sid, Dax, Frock, and all others on the couch. Can't wait to see colors from Sid, and good luck, Frock. $50 from Stephen J, donating during the Sonic block for nostalgia. Good luck and well done to the runners. $15 from Anonymous. I love me some Sonic the hot dog. $35 from Spotty Len. Sonic's the name, broken are my games. He is also fast enough so we can afford to save some animals. $15 from Nick Hill. I tried to use gotta go fast as a medical condition for a speeding ticket. It didn't work, so be careful where you use your references. $75 from Holly the Witch. Hi there, really glad I could catch the first few runs of the Sonic block before I head to bed. I'd like to shout out the VOC crew and Pinka Mena party if they're watching. $15 from Acoustic Curves. Excited to see Sonic Generations run. Toot toot, Sonic Warrior. $5 from Luke Lynch, donating again because Sonic Generations is the best Sonic game since Adventure 2. $25 from Hooch the Clutch. Gotta donate fast. Sonic Block is always hype. $50 from Ride Low 68. Great job so far. My birthday is this weekend, and it is always awesome to watch these runs beating these games. It's like an early birthday present. Happy birthday, Reed. $15 from Remy. Loving the Sonic block so far. Great job, Flying Fox. Can't believe we're going to see Green Hill Zone blindfolded. Gotta go fast. All right, looks like we have Sonic Generations back up and running. Let's give it back to Frock.
Woo.
All right, let's go again. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
So as we were saying, there's a cool little suit out of bounds thing. If you stand right at the particular corner, you can actually end up on the opposite end of the wall. Of course, you're still sticking to it. And normally we'd be stuck there, but thankfully there's a handy little Eggman spring right there, so he actually helped us out on that one.
Yep. But the real fun with Spike doesn't start until, like, in a little bit. I'll leave that
it's
one
coming
to you.
right up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one's pretty cool. We're just going to let y'all watch this real quick. Woo! And we're just going. So basically what's happening here is that when you go on a loop in a 2D section, you can think of it as two planes. And in the case of the Spike Wisp, because it's trying to make constant contact with some sort of surface, it gets really confused right when you jump at the point when you start going to the other plane. And the game doesn't know what to do. So it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to send you over there.
Yep.
And you just float. And of course, because when you come out of Wisp, you regain the ability to activate your power-up, we can use the Thunder Shield to give us that extra bounce. If you didn't have the Thunder Shield there, you would just fall into the abyss, but we actually have just enough time to get it back in bounds, basically.
I'm glad the game just gave it to me like first try.
Yeah.
I hate Charmy.
What are you talking about? He's the best.
I hate Charmy so much.
Chips? You mean potato chips?
God. So we're going to go ahead and fight Silver.
It's definitely no use for him.
So
Somebody on this couch actually made the mistake of learning that run.
Dude, Silver's awesome.
So right at the start of the fight, we just go ahead and get a quick hit by homing attacking on the car there. And from here, there's just going to be a set kind of sequence of attacks that we want to go by. In this case, it's going to summon multiple cars, and we're just going to wait till homing attack the very first one, make a chain, pretty standard stuff, and hit him. And of course, like City Escape, you know, if you hit all the cars while you're boosting, you can just regain your boost, which is pretty handy.
Who cares about other people's property? Yeah. Gotta say though, Silver is incredibly overpowered in this fight. Like if you had half these powers instead of 6, then he'd be unstoppable.
So yeah, I get that one card. The timing on the homing attacks when it's a single car is actually a little bit tight. But we're going to be going into the final hit here. So if anyone wants to start singing the Katamari Damacy in the background, you're free to do so.
Anyone likes Katamari Damacy?
We're just going to wait till a particular moment when we can kind of dash to the left. Yeah, there you go. And that's the final hit.
There we go.
Yeah. Nicely done.
And from here on, we're going to be going into the next sequence of missions. Once again, to get the 3 keys before you go to fight a certain boss that I hate.
All right, now this is actually a very new addition to the run because the strat in here is incredibly difficult. So props to Frogs for actually going for it here.
There's some very, very tight platforming here with how the switches activate.
All right, he can launch himself off that platform just enough. And he didn't quite make it to the goal ring, but he can save it from here with some good platforming. And it will still be faster than.
All right, so once again, he's in 3D, so he can move in the foreground and background.
Nice.
Got it.
All right.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, Unleashed Colors Generation. That's a classic 3D and 2D manip.
Oh yeah.
Some of the coolest stuff you'll find in these runs.
The launch to get over there, though, that's insane hard.
So now we're going to do the mission that actually unlocks Infinite Boost, which is pretty fun to go through, but still, it's not really worth going back towards the git because we don't need it anymore. We're about to finish the game.
We're so far into it, yeah, we don't really need to worry about going back and getting Infinite Boost. As handy as it could be.
Yep. There you go. There's a quick step in between the bombs.
Yeah, the hitboxes for those bombs aren't full. There's a little gap so you can just run right through.
Yeah, once again, just a perfect example of a level that's just ideal for any percentage trying to do the quickest mission possible. Very straightforward. Speaking of quick missions, don't blink.
Yeah, this is quick.
Hi, base. Bye, base.
There you go. So the idea right there is that when we get the Spike Wisp, we actually want to back off a little bit. If we walk too far forward, Blaze is going to freak out and try to run. So we want to get to where we can, the moment she actually starts to move, we're already in the middle of a fully charged spin dash, and we can use that to get up to her really quickly. So now we're going into, I don't want to talk about this fight. You talk about it. I hate it.
Fair enough. So it's the boss from Sonic Unleashed, Ectogroon. In Sonic Unleashed, it's purely a night boss with the Werehog. So they kind of gave it a complete revamp for Sonic Generations, and I like the Unleashed version better.
It's there's a ton. It's a really cool strat. It's just doing it sucks.
Yeah.
So we're going to be getting a couple hits here real quick, and there's going to be a section later on which is going to have this weird manipulation with when the camera starts to move from a 3D to 2D space. We're going to be kind of pulling Sonic back, and you're sort of see the camera track a little bit weird. Sonic's going to end up off screen, and then we're going to try to push forward here. So we're going to hold back, push forward, get a homing attack.
Try to get 2 more.
All 3.
Nice.
Right, so that's the first part.
And those homing attacks are really difficult to time, and you can't mash for them because if you miss the input even once,
right,
it's over.
It's really, really strange because there's no actual reticle, but as Sonic is falling, you have a very, very small window to kind of just homing attack forward and hit. He was able to get all 3. It's just, and even the initial homing attack, trying to make sure you have enough time to move forward and then jump when you're completely off screen, you really have to rely on like audio cues for hitting rings and that sort of thing. So it's a hard trick to describe.
And then in the diving section, if you get really lucky, you can get an early hit. If you get insanely lucky, as we recently found out, you can do 2 early hits, and which
Right, based on the positioning of Ectogroon as he's falling, you can actually get a hit early and not have to do that last section, but it's not very common.
But that was
overall, like, that's an ideal
yeah.
fight. That was really good.
Yep, it was good.
So.
I don't think I've ever seen Frog as mad as when he found out that the 2 early hits is possible.
All right, so we're going towards the final boss called Time Eater. No one likes him. Like, literally, it can waste so much time, and no one knows how to fight him. Well, the thing is, this boss is semi-automated, actually. You can catch up to him in certain moments, and you can hit him in certain moments. That's why people like keep boosting, and they can't go close to him. But we got the strat for it. Also, I might be a bit faster here. Yeah, I have to wait a little bit the gears to go into place. There you go.
Sonic the Hedgehog, everybody.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Just taking our time.
Gotta go at a decently moderate pace.
How's everybody doing? Y'all doing good?
Yeah. So the main attack you want to avoid for Time Eater is like an attack that slows down time, like he goes the Waldo, like so like yeah, like you're going to avoid that. So if I do the strat correctly, I should be able to spawn next to him with Classic Sonic, and I'll be able to get like 3 hits immediately and finish the fight. Oh yeah, also homing it, so.
It looks like a homing shot.
So yeah, I just want to kind of dip down this first section, make sure the armor doesn't hit you. Pretty straightforward. It's going to be kind of, I don't even know, does tapping boost or holding boost really make that much of a difference?
I have no idea. Ask Frog, he knows how the fight works.
Yeah, so we're just trying to get to the core, and then once we kind of touch it, you're pretty much locked onto it. Although there are cases where you can kind of get bunted off. It's a little weird. And ideally, right there, it's kind of easier to sort of angle yourself towards that set of rings without boosting. Sometimes if you're boosting, it's going so fast that you just miss them. Of course, we're supersonic, so it's kind of good to hold on to it. In this 2D state, you're kind of launching that missile that you're sending out is Classic Sonic. You're essentially using that to clear some of that debris, and going at the proper angle, you can get yourself.
And here's going to be a pretty cool trick.
Yeah. So right here,
So
the screen goes white. He's going to transition, which is going to put him a little out of bounds. And as the camera starts to pan around, it's going to come back in. And that's going to get him to where he actually moved way farther than he was supposed to, and he can get right up on the core. So that worked out really well.
All right, time is coming up. And time. So yeah, that's Sonic Generations. We had our ups and downs, a crash, but
It was a good run, man. It was
I
a good
think
run.
overall, what was the final time?
5904.
59:04.
15:04.
Sub 1 hour. Okay, yeah, I'll take that. After all that happened, yeah.
So, Green Hill blindfolded?
Yeah,
Green
Green
Hill
Hill blindfolded, right?
Green Hill blindfolded. Do we have a blindfold even?
He has it already.
Cool.
I wish I had the time to, practice more the blindfolded. I hope it's gonna be fine.
You've done it before.
Yeah,
You
I've
can
done it
do
before. I'm kind of worried about classic more than modern, to be honest. We'll see.
Also, just gonna put this out there right now. He is gonna be relying on audio cues. Hold the clapping until he's done with the stage. Just, yeah. Frog, do you want more game sound?
Yeah, a little bit. I could use it. Perfect. I'm gonna start with modern since it's like the easier one, and I go to classic, which is the hard one. Can this like?
Right?
Looking good, man. Looking good.
Looking good. At least you
All
can still
right.
see the beard.
That's all we need.
Nicely done, man.
I mean, okay.
So yeah, a few alternative paths here and there just to make it easier on the sound cues, but still very nicely done. Yeah! Well done, man. Well done.
Good job.
And that's Sonic Generations. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yo, standing ovation. Heck yeah. You're the man.
All right, thank you, Frokenok, for Sonic Generations and that awesome Green Hill Zone blindfolded. Fantastic stuff. And thank you to everybody that cheered all of the bits into the chat that was required to hit that incentive. That was a fantastic portion of the run. Just so you guys know, this is your last chance to put in your donations to try to enter to win the Gotta Go Fast scarf, the Sonic logo scarf, and the Sonic food tray. Minimum $15 donations need to come in, and that gives you a chance to win those items. So make sure to get your donations in right now. We have a $50 donation from Smarmadon7. Is everybody excited for Sonic Mania? After so long, I'm happy we are finally getting Sonic 4, which Sega never attempted to make before. $15 from Wear Shoes. First time catching the Sonic block and absolutely loving it. Keep it up and Sonic speed. We got a $150 donation from Ziggy173. Love Sonic, donating because of nostalgia and awesomeness. $5 from Patchy76. I just want the reader to say, live and learn. There you go. $220 from Canderson, 1989. I've been watching the GDQ events for a long time, and the runners continue to impress me year after year. Thanks for the many hours of entertainment, and best of luck to all the runners. We have a couple of comment-less donations I'm going to go ahead and read off now. We have a $200 donation from Anonymous. We received a $150 donation from Chero Neon. I apologize if I got that incorrect. We have another $6 donation from Roy209. And a $50 donation from Luminaire Fox. Thank you for all those donations. $50 donation from Venture Goose. 4th year of watching, first time, and I am able to donate. Keep on keeping on and kill those animals. $15 from Furret Turret, which has a couple of lines. Come on, step it up. You're too slow. I found you, faker. It's no use. Got a juice. Let's blast through with Sonic speed. Hopefully I did those all right. $50 from Mr. Darks. Here's to all the runners and announcers. You're all doing great. Well, you're doing great. $25 from CattyBat171. As fellow Sonic charity runners, the folks at Run for Our Rights, and I want to say good luck to everyone participating in the Sonic block. I found you, faker.
Eggman, I am going to save this planet, and I am going to free these aliens. No copyright.
$50 from Mayuki Endo. It's my first time watching Games Done Quick, and it's been awesome. $50 from Massarian. Always great to see some of my favorite games run. With the great games, cool skips, and stellar commentary, how could anyone fail to open their wallets? Just as a heads up, since I don't believe I've said it yet, next up is Sonic Colors by Critical Sid, Egg Shuttle for the Wii. $25 donation from Anonymous that just says, I love you all. $100 donation from Goko D. Sika. Gotta go fast. $25 from Desert Llama saying, gotta get me some chili dogs. Not a bad idea. $150 donation from Tom saying, hey guys, Tom here. First time donating, so I'd like to make a shout out to my best pal Eagle watching the stream right now. We're both looking forward to Sonic Generations Blind Incentive, which was awesome. Good luck to the runners, and I hope you all have a great SGDQ. We got a $150 donation from DevLeper122. MSF is always a fantastic cause. Thanks to all the runners and organizers, and save the animals. We have a $150 donation from Sirius that's just less than 3. We have a $25 donation from Augie. Gotta donate during the Sonic block. All of that sweet swag is way past cool. $150 donation coming from Shady Penguin. Keep the great content going, and shout outs to my favorite mod, Sammy Bammy. You guys are watching Summer Games Done Quick 2017, benefiting Doctors Without Borders, an international independent medical humanitarian organization that delivered emergency aid to the people affected by armed conflict, epidemics, malnutrition, natural disasters, and exclusion from healthcare in 69 countries in 2015. On any one day, thousands of individuals representing dozens of nationalities can be found providing assistance to people caught in crises around the world. $23.64 from Anonymous. I've been watching GDQs for years now, and my brother died this year because of leukemia. It was time to donate for my favorite event of the year, and in order to help. Sonic is my childhood hero, so I'll definitely stay awake and watch them all through. Gotta go fast from Hungary. $15 from the Dangus. Gotta go fast. This goes to killing the animals because we already save a bunch with Sonic. $150 donation from Angad. Thank you for organizing the event. I've been watching SGDQ since 2015, and I'm grateful to be able to donate to a great cause. Good luck to all the runners. $20 from Mythchild. Always a great pleasure to watch. Always a great pleasure to watch Sonic and friends go fast. To the runner and GDQ organizers, keep up the fantastic work. All right, for those of you watching in the Twitch chat, we will be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and play a Twitch ad. You're watching Summer Games Done Quick 2017. Are you guys a part of Twitch Prime? Sign up for Twitch Prime for free games, exclusive in-game loot, and free channel subscriptions, and so much more. This month, Twitch Prime members can get a guaranteed legendary item in Overwatch with the Golden Loot Box, an exclusive Twitch Prime skins in Players Unknown's Battlegrounds, and a Prime with Prime Warframe bundle featuring a Frost Prime Warframe and more. $15 coming from Allison saying, I grew up with Sonic and actually learned to read from the early Sonic comics. I've been going fast my whole life thanks to this hedgehog, so obviously I have to donate during the Sonic block. $50 from Marco75. I'm donating in honor of the great Ryan Davis, who passed away 4 years ago on this day. We'll never forget you. $50 from Gorilla. Hi, SGDQ. Here's my first of 3 $50 donations. Donation goes to Frog's name, Hypnotoad. All hail Hypnotoad. $150 from A583. Feels good donating to a good cause while watching nice games being played. Privet to my brother and all the players. $25 coming from Anna, saying, so happy that it's time for SGDQ again. I love what you guys do, and as a future doctor, I want us to stay borderless. Thank you, Anna. $50 from Anonymous, saying, 2017 has been great, and SGDQ has been great as well. I get the chance to watch these events live on Twitch, and I'm glad to have the opportunity to donate. $25 from River Walnut. Gotta go fast. As you can see on the screen right now, Sonic Food Tray is a possible item that you can win if you donate. So you guys have until the end of the Sonic block to put in your donations. Minimum $15 gives you the chance to win either a Gotta Go Fast scarf, the Sonic logo scarf, or that very Sonic Food Tray. $25 coming from Boba. First time donating while watching any GDQ stream. You know what? Any little bit helps. Then he adds this a little smiley face. $50 from Corinth. Greetings from the Rocket City. Rockets go fast. Sonic goes fast. Speedrunners go fast. Seems like the perfect time to donate. Best of luck to all the runners this week, and thank you for the awesome event. We have a $25 donation from Anonymous. Thanks for making the world better, gamers. We have a $50 donation from Flash and Eco. Enjoying watching the two flying foxes rush through this game as a part of the fight to save lives. Also, since Sonic and Tails are all about saving small animals, they'd approve of this donation, and thus Samus doing the same. Of course, as per GDQ, every event that we have the Save the Animals and Kill the Animals feature. So feel free to donate and put to whether you want to save or kill those animals. Currently, Save the Animals is ahead by only $88. We have a $150 donation from Kelazi5 saying, love these marathons and seeing the pros demolish great games. $25 from Foggo184. Thank you to all the contributing and to all of those running. You are beautiful people. We have a $20 donation from Finn. Greetings from Finland. That blindfolded Sonic action was amazing. Kudos to all the runners and all the crew who work behind the cameras. Keep it up. P.S. I'll put 20 more if you pronounce this right. All right. Tortilla. Ooh, boy. Tavatan? I probably missed that. That's fine. Tortilla Tavatan. All right. Shout outs to the guys behind the camera. $20 from Jem saying it's only recently that I realized how much I love Sonic, and it's great to see it supported by such players doing what Sonic would want to do most. Gotta go fast. All right, guys, give me a round of applause for Critical Sid and Sonic Colors.
Let's go!
Yeah. All right, so before I start, let me just introduce my coach. We are Frokenok, the Sonic Generations runner, and Gerrit here, another Sonic Colors runner. They're going to help me a bit with commentary. And here we have Takede. She's going to laugh at me when I mess up. But yeah, with that, we're pretty much good to go. So I'll give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Welcome everybody to Sonic Colors with a U on the Nintendo Wii without a U. To end the European invasion here, that is the Sonic Lock. So this is a modern Sonic game, which means that we're gonna have both 3D and